Okay, so
Robots taking over our jobs.
it's not exactly a new fear, right?
But it feels like it's gone from like,
Sci-fi movie plot to a very real water cooler conversation.
really fast.
Yeah.
And I gotta say,
Some of the headlines out there.
definitely enough to make anyone wonder, you know.
If their job description will soon include, like, training your robot replacement.
It's true, the future of work is changing in ways that, honestly, we couldn't have imagined, even just a few years ago.
Exactly. So to cut through the noise and maybe some of the fear-mongering, too,
We are diving into some brand new research.
out of the University of Milano Bicocca in Italy.
They have come up with a really
Fascinating way.
just how vulnerable your skills.
Might be to the rise of AI.
And don't worry, we've got practical advice too.
Well, what's really interesting about this research is it's not just speculation. They actually used 3 different AI systems, Mistral, Orca Mini, and OpenChat, to analyze over 19,000 real-world job tasks. Okay, so that already is super interesting to me because
Okay.
it's not just one AI, possibly with its own, quirks and biases, calling the shots here. This is like a more comprehensive look at what AI can potentially do.
Exactly. And to kind of put a number on all of this, they created something called the TEAI index, which stands for Task Exposure to AI.
So like a ranking system for
Yeah.
how likely a robot is to steal your cubicle.
In a way, yes. The TEAI index scores how well AI can perform specific job tasks. On a scale of 1 to 5. 1 meaning the AI really struggles with this.
Rough.
And a 5 meaning, well, you might want to brush up your resume.
Okay, so no more robots taking our coffee orders then.
Where does this research say AI is really starting to make inroads?
One of the most fascinating and perhaps concerning findings is that it's not just those repetitive manual jobs that are at risk. In fact, the research suggests that high-skill jobs, the ones that require complex cognitive abilities, might be even more susceptible to AI disruption.
No, that's a real plot twist. I think a lot of us. Yeah. Sort of assume that those high-paying, high-skilled jobs are safe. What is it about AI that makes it so suited for those roles?
It really comes down to the nature of AI. You see, AI excels at things like recognizing patterns, analyzing massive data sets, and even learning from experience. These are all tasks that were previously thought to require uniquely human intellect.
So it's not just about, physical strength or dexterity anymore. AI is like closing the gap on brain power, which is honestly kind of a little intimidating.
It does challenge our assumptions, for sure. To really get a handle on this, the researchers dug into skills within 4 main categories: cognitive, social, then you've got problem solving and management, and finally technical. And what they found when they looked at how AI interacts with these different categories, well, it was pretty revealing.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me more.
So cognitive skills, right? Particularly those related to data analysis and complex reasoning, those showed a really strong correlation with higher TEAI scores.
Okay, so that makes sense. AI crushing it with data analysis. We've been talking about that.
Yeah.
But what about the other stuff? What about things like social skills or management? Are those safe?
That's where it gets really interesting. Skills that depend heavily on human interaction, things like emotional intelligence, persuasion, negotiation, that whole realm, they scored way lower on the TEAI index.
So it's like AI, this hyper-logical brain, without quite grasping the nuances of what we do as humans.
Yeah, at least for now.
For now.
Right.
Okay, but for someone listening who does rely on those cognitive skills day to day, this is probably sounding a bit ominous. So is there any good news here? At all?
There is. While it's true that certain job tasks are becoming more automated, the overall picture is not all doom and gloom. In fact, this research actually found a positive correlation between AI adoption and both employment and wage growth.
Hold on. More AI could lead to more jobs and higher salaries? How does that even work?
It's not that AI is magically making jobs appear out of thin air. It's more of a transformation. AI is increasingly being used as a tool to boost productivity, to help us do what we already do, but faster, more efficiently, and with better results. And that can lead to business growth, new opportunities, and, better compensation, too.
Okay, so instead of this Terminator scenario, AI is more like that super smart assistant we all wish we had. And you've seen this movie before, right?
Yeah.
New tech comes along, it seems scary at first, but then it leads to all these unexpected benefits.
Exactly. Take the music industry. When synthesizers and digital audio workstations first came out, a lot of musicians were worried they'd be out of a job. But instead, those tools unlocked all these new sounds, new production techniques, and even led to whole new genres of music.
Right, or even graphic design. AI can generate some really amazing visuals now, but it's not putting graphic designers out of business. Instead, it's freeing them up to focus on the bigger picture, the concepts, and the strategy. But this research is really focused on the medium-term impact of AI, right?
You're right to point that out. Predicting the distant future is a fool's errand.
Yeah, my crystal ball's at the cleaners.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about navigating this changing landscape, what can people actually do?
Adaptability. Honestly, that's the name of the game. We've talked about skills, but what's even more important is the ability to learn to evolve, to embrace new ways of working.
So instead of clinging to what we know, we need to be open to picking up new skills, new knowledge, as this AI landscape continues to change.
Exactly. And this is where things get really interesting. You see this research really focused on how AI might change existing jobs. But what about the jobs that haven't even been invented yet?
Okay, now we're venturing into uncharted territory. I like it.
Think about it. Could we have imagined even 20 years ago that social media manager or app developer would be these in-demand careers? AI could create whole new industries, job sectors that we can't even conceive of yet.
It's exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time. But it definitely makes this whole conversation about the future of work feel a lot less like a countdown to unemployment and a lot more well open-ended.
Exactly. This isn't about robots versus humans. It's about how we can use these advancements to create a better future for everyone.
So for you listening right now, if you're feeling that anxiety creep in about AI and your career, just remember this. You are not powerless. Embrace lifelong learning, stay curious about new tech, and don't be afraid to step outside of that comfort zone.
Who knows? You might be the one to invent the next dream job in the age of AI.
And on that inspiring note, we are wrapping up this deep dive into the future of work. We hope you're walking away not just informed, but empowered to navigate this ever-changing landscape. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and most importantly, stay curious.